Good afternoon, everyone. Today is day 42 of my 100-day Facebook Live challenge. I'm still having a hard time believing how many of these I have done. Even when I'm like scrolling through and we're kind of doing some editing and getting the videos over on the YouTube channel, which you can find on YouTube. It's under Rebecca Ingebrigtsen is the channel name right now. It's like, did I really do that many videos? It's insane. It's crazy. It's crazy. And yet there are still times that I wonder if I can be consistent and if I have, like enough content, enough to say to do other things. So just sometimes I really have to remind myself like how far I've come. The differences from the me now to the me who did the very first Facebook Live. Just all of the growth that I've had and all of the content that I have. Like I already have content here. I have 42 ideas of things to talk about, to write about, to teach on, to do programs with. It's awesome. It's crazy. It's totally awesome. So when I think about it like that, it's really exciting. But when I think about like how many I have left to do, then it can feel a little bit daunting. So I try not to get too far ahead of myself into the future and just take it one day at a time. Like I'm not thinking, what am I going to talk about tomorrow? But tomorrow I'll be looking around for inspirations and little tidbits throughout my day that I can share and hopefully help somebody else out with that. So I'm just trying to get this video shared on a couple of my pages, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started. So today I'm going to talk about finding the lesson. And I'm going to tell you what that means, how you can apply it to your life. And then I really, really want you to think about the difference in your life, the differences that you'd have in your life if you were finding the lesson. Okay, so I still need to share this, but I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So just don't mind me if I'm looking away from the video. It'll only take me, hopefully, a minute. Okay. So if you've been following along every day, you'll have noticed that the last probably 4 or 5 days has been like emotional roller coaster for me. Some of those times I just wasn't managing my mind. Sometimes I just was embracing the feelings that were coming in. And other times I was just very, very excited and lots of gratitude for all the things that are going on. But I really wanted to share with you how I get through the times that are tough. Because it's been fairly new. This little technique that I've been using has been fairly new to me, and I don't think I have explained it. I might have, but I really wanted to focus on it here today. Okay, so first of all, I want to say that the ups and downs are completely normal. You're going to have ups and downs. There are going to be, if you're playing big in the world and you have big dreams and you're going after big goals, you are going to have times in your life where you are terrified, when you are worried, embarrassed, freaking out, just like tons of fear popping up, and that is totally normal. In fact, it's a great thing for those things to be there because it lets you know that you are playing big. If you don't set goals that scare you, that make you wonder if, you know what I mean, you're going to do it, then you're not playing big enough. You don't have to play big in the world, but if you are wanting to make the most out of this life, and you want to push yourself and grow and evolve and become the best person that you can be in this lifetime, then playing big is really the way to get there. I am so sorry that I'm shaking the video so much. So, first of all of these things are normal. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and look at the last 4 or 5 videos that I've had, because it's seriously been like one day I'm on top of the world, the next I am like super cranky. Then I'm super gracious and I love everything that's happening. The next day I'm like in tears, like I don't even know what to do, like getting beat down by the world. And it's really kind of strange to be on this roller coaster, but at the same time that I know what's happening. So, not that long ago, I'm going to say maybe at the beginning of the month, so maybe like 3.5 weeks ago, I was on a coaching call with my coach's coach, and she said something to me that really did change my whole perception on growth and goals and how to get there. So every time you put out an intention into the world, whether it be a goal, whether it be one of your dreams, a want, something that you want to manifest, the universe is going to, well, not every time. Sometimes you just get things that you're ready for. But if it's something that you're really not ready for yet, then God or the universe, whatever you believe, is going to give you little challenges to help get you to that place where you need to be in order to be the person who can have those things or can handle it. So for me, I had said I wanted to do a webinar on relationships. Then immediately, pretty much, I would say within a day or two, I was starting to feel this really deep, painful ache and hurt in one of my own relationships, because that relationship has been rocky and very like unsettled for a long time. But I didn't realize until I talked to her that it was the universe saying, "Oh, you want to teach on relationships? Well, that's fine, but you're not ready for it. So this is what you have to do in order to get it. Just prove it. You want to do it? Prove it. I'll give it to you, but you need to do your part too." And so that's really what it is. So every little thing that's been happening to me since that phone call, everything that I feel like I am a victim to, or that I could think that I'm a victim to and that I don't have any control over, I'm just thinking, okay, this is the way that this loving universe, this loving God has my back. The world is not trying to beat you down. God and the universe want to lift you up. So it's giving you these little tests and these moments, these little lessons that you can learn from and evolve from and grow from. And they might seem small and insignificant. I think I talked in here one time about money. Like, I've been working really hard on my money mindset and manifesting money, and had been doing that, and then an opportunity came where my mother-in-law wanted to help us pay for something, and I like completely rejected it, which not only probably was super rude and uncool to her. I mean, wasn't like, oh, no way, but like I just felt really like icky inside. And that was a test. The universe said, you're not ready to manifest this money. You still have money issues. And I noticed it and I realized, okay, I have real problems accepting financial help from others. I've always been the kind of person who hates to borrow money. As soon as I got a job as soon as I was 16, and then I think I just stopped asking for money from my parents after that. I just never liked that feeling. I always wanted to take care of myself and be independent financially and just take care of my own stuff. And So that was a little lesson for me, and I recognized it. Now, I don't always recognize it right away, so sometimes it's okay if you don't. And if you need to take some time to like reflect on it afterwards, because I didn't realize that right in the moment either, but I think later that evening I did. But sometimes it takes me a week to kind of go, oh, okay, that's what's happening. So, so the point is to look at all these little situations and find the lesson. Instead of thinking that something terrible has happened to you, how would it change your life if you were thinking, wow, this is God having my back. What is the lesson here? All I need to do is find the lesson. This is a loving energy, a loving God, a loving universe that wants you to succeed, who wants you to have everything you desire. But you have to do your part. You can't just ask for it and have it handed to you. Sometimes that happens, but it's because you're already ready. You're already evolved into that person who is ready for that thing. But maybe it's just a little test. I mean, nobody hands you a driver's license. You have to take a test, right? But we don't make it mean all these bad things like, oh my gosh, I'm not meant to have a driver's license. I'm just not good at it. This is just terrible. Like, why is this happening to me? No, we're excited for that. We want it, and we're going to do whatever we need to do to get it. I mean, that's how I was. I was 16. I wanted my driver's license. I wanted the freedom. I wanted to go. I wanted to drive. I just wanted it really, really badly. And so if I had failed my test, I would have taken it again and again and again. Same thing with my nursing license. I wanted it bad. Of course, I didn't want to fail the test. I wanted to pass it the first time. When I took the exam for my LPN license and for my RN license, I was just terrified to death. It didn't feel good going into those exams, those tests. The tests don't feel good. And they're not supposed to. They don't have to. It's okay. That's the test. You got to swallow the fear, walk into the building, and take the test. Now, I'm going to tell you also, after I took both of my nursing exams, I felt terrible walking out of them also. So you might not feel better right away just because you've taken the test. Maybe you've even passed the test, but you're not sure yet if you have. I mean, that's what happened to me then. Sometimes you're just not going to get that validation or knowing that you did the right thing or that you passed the test until later. Maybe it's a week from now. Maybe it's a month down the road. Like I said in one of the other videos, my beautiful friend Autumn, so wise, said just because you don't see it doesn't mean the changes aren't happening. So brilliant. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. So the two things that I've been really holding on to is that message from my friend Autumn, and just the fact that the world is not beating you down. It is trying to lift you up, but you just have to do your part too. You can't just sit there like a rock and expect to be lifted up and soar. No, you need to spread your wings. You need to try. You need to flap. You need to be a part of it, right? Birds just don't fly. They don't just get picked up by the wind and go where they need to go. No, they flap their wings. They steer in the direction. They know where they're going. They're a part of it. They're experiencing it. That's all we need to do. Okay? Imagine for 1 minute if you didn't think that everything that happened to you was like against you, and instead it was all for you. How is this happening for me? What's the lesson here I need to learn? What can I take away from this? What do I need to prove? This is just a little test. Imagine what that would be like. Because I would say partially there, since I've started following Brooke Castillo, and if you're not following Brooke Castillo, I highly suggest that you do. She has an excellent podcast. It's called The Life Coach School, and there's like 170 some, but start from the beginning. They are all amazing. But the newer ones are more advanced, so you will want to start from the beginning to really lay down the groundwork for all of the advanced topics she's teaching now. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, since I started listening to her podcast, I've been inching my way toward this. But these last, I would say, couple of weeks, at least since I publicly announced on one of these videos that I was going to do a webinar, I've been completely tested. And I just have gotten these amazing, like coaching sessions. And those are my big takeaways. And now every time something happens, like the other day, my husband and I were arguing, and we just really hardly ever argue. And it just felt so bad. But also in the back of my head, I knew there's a lesson here that I need to learn. There's something in this that I need to teach in my webinar that somebody needs. There's something here that I need to learn. And even though it still felt really bad, it just helped me to not feel like a victim. It's like, okay, like I can do this. I can get through this. Like this is not happening to me. This is happening for me. This is what I need. This is a gift. And I know that sounds really strange. And I didn't feel happy about it in the moment. But I knew that there was something there that I needed. Or maybe there was something there he needed. Or maybe both. I would say both. I think we both got something out of that argument, out of that situation. Something that, and we came out of it stronger than ever, more connected. I would say just so much closer and like moving in the same direction. It was beautiful. The way it ended was beautiful, but it sucked getting there. And so please know it is completely normal for all of it to feel really crappy. The negative emotions are part of the human experience. These lessons are part of the human experience. This is the test. Our life is the test, you guys. Start taking the exams. Start stepping up to the plate. Okay, stop being the victim and start being the player. Start being the boss. You get to decide. You get to create the life. And I know that that's not what we've all been taught. I mean, at some point when we were kids, people were saying, oh, you can be anything you want to be. But they didn't really believe it. And the people who were telling us that already had expectations for us that came across to us while we were growing up, right? Most adults do not believe that you can do anything, that you can create the life you want, that you can create financial freedom, that you can find real love, that you can find joy and happiness when not by overeating and eating all these things we know we shouldn't, or maybe it's without drinking or whatever it is. But you get to decide. You really, really do. All you need to do is want it and ask for it and be willing to prove it. Be willing to take the tests. Be willing to look for the lessons and be willing to grow and learn and evolve. The way you learn and grow and evolve is by finding the lessons and taking the tests. So yeah, sometimes you're going to fail. Sometimes the tests are really, really small. Sometimes it's your kids going, mom, 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 while you're on the phone or while you're trying to work or whatever it is. Sometimes it's for me, I'm just thinking this out loud here now for the first time. For me, I think my little tests are on the road all the time because I have a really hard time with the way other people choose to drive. But I know that's my lesson and I keep trying and I have not been doing perfect at it. And I fail all the time. Sometimes I still feel like a victim to other people's driving. And sometimes it's just me being selfish. Like, don't these people know I need to get somewhere? And why are they in this lane? And why aren't they using their blinker? And all of the things. It doesn't matter what it is, right? It's any little situation. It's the person who cuts in front of you in line. It's the waitress who was rude to you, or maybe it's the customer that is rude to you. Or maybe it's you keeping your patience and still being kind when things are going wrong. There's little tests, there's big tests, and the big ones are a lot easier to see the lessons, I would say, and a lot easier to notice that it is a test. It's the little things that are sneak up on us, and then we forget to act with love. And those are just the things to look out for. So just remember, there's always a lesson in it, and you get to decide if you really want what you say you do. Are you willing to prove it? Are you willing to take the test? Are you willing to find the lesson? It's easier to just say, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me. This isn't fair. That's easy. The harder thing is, okay, this is happening to me, and I know that there's a lesson here. How, let's find it. And along the way, we're going to just, remain in integrity. Okay, I keep saying I'm going to end it, and then I don't. So this time I really am going to end it. So if you like anything that I have to say, please like or share the video. It really, really helps me get in front of new people that also like the message. There are going to be people who don't like the message, but I always say let them decide for themselves, and then they can either choose to ignore it or they can choose to follow along if they like it. If you want to take the work to a deeper level, if you are excited about learning how the universe and God is rooting for you and helping you along the way, and you want to, take these tests, and you're ready to move forward and evolve, get in contact with me. Send me an email at Rebecca@inspiredactionspersonalcoaching.com, or just hit me up on Facebook. You can send me a message. You can put it in the comments, and I'd love to set you up with a free 1-hour life strategy session where where you will leave with tools and tips in order to feel better right away, and things that you can implement immediately to start moving forward. And that's a 60-minute phone call. It's absolutely no obligation. It's absolutely free. I'm doing that while I'm giving away 100 of those while I do my 100-day Facebook Live challenge. So there is a limit on this offer, and I don't think I'm going to be offering for free after this this offer. So get a hold of me if you want to schedule your session. We will get it at a time that works well for you and works well for me. So the sooner that you get a hold of me, the better, so you have more options for your time slots. And stay tuned, because my webinar is going to be on August 10th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And I am almost ready with the pages that I need ready. And I will post those in the links. But if you know for sure you want the information on the webinar, let me know. Just send me a message with your email address or post the email address below, and I will make sure that you get the information so you don't have to keep coming back for it. Okay, my friends, it is day 42. 42. Can't believe it. 42. I am so close to halfway there. I still feel like I'm at the beginning. So I'm actually really excited about it. I remember being at like day 10 and like going, like coming out of my office and telling my husband like, oh, I got 10 down, only 90 to go. But now, look how far I am. Now I'm almost halfway there. It's amazing. I'm super excited. Okay. So get a hold of me if you want a life strategy session. Get a hold of me if you want more information on the webinar. And if you know anybody else that might be interested in the webinar, to let me know. I can get you the information. You can pass it along however you want to do it. So I will talk to you all tomorrow. Have an amazing rest of your Wednesday. All right, guys. Bye-bye.